Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I made this delicious banana bread. It was super easy and quick. I started off with 2 ripe bananas. The browner the better because then they're more sweet for your recipe. So I just went ahead and added those into my bowl. No aesthetics here, just anything you have. I used this bowl, this Pyrex bowl. And I'm going to use the fork to mash those up. I don't have one of those fancy KitchenAid whiskers, machine ones, so I use the handheld here. You can see it off to the right. I just ordered that on Amazon. It's literally $8, so if you feel like you can't make bread because you don't have a fancy mixer, you don't need a fancy mixer. You just need that little bread whisker and then your arm. That's it. So I'm just mixing up my bananas here, mashing them with the fork, trying to get them as mashed up as possible. In this recipe, I just add what I guesstimate on the amounts. Roughly, I know what I'm putting in, but I've done it so many times I don't really have to measure. I should have added some sort of butter to this recipe, but it still did turn out. So here's my vanilla extract going in. Again, I don't really measure, I just added a splash. It doesn't matter if you add more vanilla extract or not. Same with the maple syrup, that was my sweetener of choice. You can honestly use any kind of sweetener, it doesn't have to be maple syrup. If you have dietary restrictions of any kind, you can always switch it up. Here I'm just cracking 2 eggs to add those in. Again, just your standard eggs, doesn't have to be anything fancy. You can buy organic pasture-raised, which is what I like to buy, but you don't have to. So another thing I like to use is the King's bread flour. That helps raise as well. Like I am going to add a raising agent, whether it's baking soda, baking powder. I did use baking powder in this instance. And for the measurements for the maple syrup, I added roughly about 2 to 3 tablespoons. The flour was 2 cups of bread flour that I had added in there. And then for the baking powder, I just measured here about a tablespoon and a half is what I had added in. Again, I don't really measure anything, I just kind of add what I think. That's the fun of baking. Here, I poured the salt into my hand just to measure that out first, because you can always add too much salt and then it's not going to taste very good. So sorry for the elbow, I'm just mixing this up, showing you guys how easy it is with this bread whisk, I guess you'd call it. I just got it on Amazon for $8. Not very expensive at all. It doesn't have to be expensive to bake. Like, you don't need all these fancy gadgets. I know they like to advertise that you do need them, but honestly you really don't. They're fun to have, I'm not gonna lie, but it comes together pretty quick. I was second guessing here just to see if I needed to add any extra moisture. Again, I didn't think of the butter, or I could have used ghee as well, which is clarified butter. I am actually enjoying that, using that quite a bit lately for cooking or baking. I also could have used a smaller dish here, bread, for my bread, but I used what was clean. And then I had my spray, my extra virgin olive oil spray, just to grease the sides. I like to clean my dishes too a little bit with some wet paper towel, just in case there was any dust in that from the cabinet. Give it just a little wipe down and a dry before I have to add my mixture. You don't want anything sticking to the side, so I had preheated my oven for 350 before I did all this, while I was making my mixture, just so it's ready when I'm done making it, so it can go in right away. Once the sides were oiled, I added the mixture in. just trying to get everything off the sides there, and it does tend to stick to the whisk, but with a little extra effort you can get it all in. And another fun thing I did here too, once I have it all, once I have it all mixed up, I add it into my dish, my baking dish. And again, I didn't have to line the dish because I had greased it. You can also use butter on a glove to grease the pan as well. Doesn't have to be extra virgin olive oil sprayed. Honestly, whatever you have, this recipe is pretty easy and straightforward. So here, just to spice it up just a little bit, I wanted to add chocolate chips. These were just unsweetened or semi-sweet chocolate chips, just to add some fun to the top of it. I didn't mix them in. You could also do that. You could also add anything you really wanted to it. My oven was close to being preheated at this point to the 350, and I just slid it in right after this. I initially set my timer for 20 minutes, which you'll see here in a second that I did. I just used the timer on my microwave to help me keep track, but I had to add another 20 minutes to that. So every oven being a little bit different, you may need a longer time frame, just depending. I just check it with a toothpick, and as long as it comes out clean, let it cool after, and enjoy your banana loaf. Hope you guys subscribe to the channel.